All right, let's get right into it. This is a story about a single discovery that didn't just change the world. It completely shattered one reality and built a brand new one from the ground up. It's a wild ride about mavericks, skeptics, and a universe that, believe it or not, has a hidden song. So, it all starts with this fringe theory from a philosopher-engineer, a guy named Mikhail Michalowski. He had this idea he called the Quniverse. The basic thought was that underneath everything we see and touch, there's this deeper quantum layer where everything is connected and where our actions, our experiences, leave a permanent mark on space-time itself. Now here's where it gets really personal. Minkowski didn't just think this was some abstract cosmic thing. No, he theorized that our experiences, and get this, even the experiences of our ancestors, could leave quantum signatures right on our DNA. It's kind of like epigenetic memory, but on a whole other level. The past isn't just history, it's a quantum echo living inside every single one of us.
So who was the guy who first claimed he could hear this hidden universal song? Well, that would be Minkowski, a true maverick who saw the cracks in our digital world way before anyone else even knew where to look.
Minkowski was, well, he was a character. He was a Silicon Valley veteran, had done his time at all the big places, but he got fed up and traded it all for a mountain cabin to write poetry and scribble quantum theory. He was convinced that reality wasn't built on the simple ones and zeros we use in computers, but on qubits, these fundamental quantum units that can be both 1 and 0 at the same time. The scientific establishment, yeah, they weren't having it. They basically called him a charlatan.
But even the most radical ideas can sometimes find a home. And his inspired a small team at MIT to ask a really groundbreaking question. If this quantum world is really inside us, could we, actually measure it? And the team was this perfect mix of people. You had Dr. Leah Rabinowitz, the ambitious physicist who was really hopeful this could work. Then there was Dr. Umesh Kapur, a brilliant theorist but a total skeptic, deeply rooted in classical physics. And finally, Dr. Celia Anderson, the information scientist whose job was to somehow make sense of all the data. Their experiment was just audacious. I mean, they were trying to find a quantum signal in a single strand of DNA from a fruit fly. For someone like Umesh, this was basically a fool's errand. It was like searching for a ghost in a machine that classical physics said shouldn't even have a ghost. After months and months of filtering out just an unimaginable amount of noise from their data, they found it, a clear, rhythmic pattern, a signal so undeniable that it completely converted Umesh, the biggest skeptic of them all. He said it wasn't just data, it was like a pulse, the sound of life itself beating at a quantum level.
And this wasn't some fluke in a lab. The whole scientific world was absolutely rocked when CERN, the people who literally invented the World Wide Web, independently confirmed their results. The proof was in. Life itself was fundamentally, measurably quantum. That ghost in our DNA, it was real.
So this discovery, it forced a collision. There was no avoiding it. The old world of established, by-the-book science was now staring right into the face of Minkowski's radical, new vision.
And you got to remember, just a little while before this, guys like Umesh had totally written Michalowski off. His work was seen as pseudoscience. Beautiful, maybe, like poetry, but it had no mathematical rigor. It just wasn't serious physics.
But now, all of Minkowski's so-called poetry was being proven as cold, hard, scientific fact. The Quniverse, the qubit, the quantum signature in our DNA, it was all turning out to be real. And this attracted a huge following, but it also painted a massive target on his back from powerful people who saw his ideas as a major threat. As you can imagine, governments and corporations started trying to discredit their work. Cutting off their funding, the team basically hit a brick wall. And then, just when things seemed hopeless, a lifeline. An email from the one person who saw this all coming from the very beginning.
So picture this, a secluded cabin, high up in the mountains. An unlikely alliance is formed, and their mission? To build the technology that would actually bring the Quniverse into our world.
They gave it the codename Project Cantor, and in total secrecy, they started designing a system to harness this incredible new power. They brought in the best minds from every field, science, ethics, economics, to build not just a machine, but a whole new foundation for society. And I want to be clear, their goal wasn't just to build a faster computer. The Quantum Cantor was designed to be a living, breathing network, a decentralized, totally secure internet that would serve all of humanity, not just corporations. It was nothing less than a new kind of global consciousness.
After years of working in the shadows, the launch of Project Cantor didn't just introduce a new piece of tech, it triggered a complete and total global reset.
The second the Quantum Cantor went live, the old digital world just collapsed. All of its security was built on what Minkowski famously called brittle math, encryption that a true quantum computer could break in a heartbeat. So blockchains, financial systems, anything built on that old foundation, it all just vanished. They called it the Great Shattering.
But out of the ashes of that digital apocalypse, something new rose up, the Q-chain. This was a completely new kind of digital ledger, with transactions secured not by fragile algorithms, but by the unbreakable laws of quantum physics itself. Centralized control was replaced by a decentralized network, and the Internet of corporations became an Internet for humanity.
And this just shows you how fast everything happened. We're talking less than 5 years. A single scientific discovery completely reshaped the entire planet and launched us into a new era governed by a totally different set of rules. It's just incredible.
Ultimately, the story of the Quantum Cantor proves that the biggest revolutions don't always start with a bang. Sometimes they start with a whisper, with someone brave enough to listen to the universe's hidden songs. And it leaves you wondering, if the echoes of our past are really encoded inside us, what other secrets are just waiting to be heard?